So welcome back to 45 News Utah Western States Media and Stop the Illness. So we're going to go through Utah news today. The governor announced that they are going to stop the federal unemployment benefits come next month. Looks like the 27th. The federal unemployment benefits will stop. So if you do receive unemployment through the state and you qualify for that, you will still receive those benefits. The other thing is, if you're receiving help on rent or other things like health care, you will continue to do so until said time. Probably, I think September is when that will change. But right now, the governor has signed the order to stop the federal unemployment benefits. Now, there's a debate going on why is it so profitable to stay home versus having X amount of jobs out there. There's a large number of jobs and open right now, and there's a large amount of people on unemployment. I think it's 70,000 versus 50,000, what I just seen earlier. But you got to think about this. So the money dump for the fake fiat currency and all the bills has been passed. That money's flowing freely through the economy. Now we're taking people that are making $600 or $500 are getting federal unemployment benefits, plus they're not paying rent, plus medical or any of that stuff being deducted, and they're also receiving state unemployment. That takes these employees, these 9.2 million employees across the country, and Utah's possibly, I think, 50,000. I think it was 50,000. We got to double check unemployment numbers in Utah and see. I'm not going to get into real in depth into this, but just for the opening of this newscast, to give you an idea, let's see, Utah unemployment benefits and how many people are on those. Unemployment insurance. Okay, how many? Let's do how many. We got to add in how many. I didn't really get ready for this newscast. I actually did a Western States Outdoors video on the Utah State draw and the big game, drawing, and the way the Division of Wildlife Resources is mismanaging the entire system. But let's see, how many people are on unemployment? See, from September 2020, an estimate of 0.9% across the past 12 months. September 2020, yeah, that's back then, September 2020. So we got to do an updated. Let's do May 2021. I wish the algorithms would change the way you look up stuff so you can actually see what the actual numbers are. Let's see, press release, view latest news, department contact, blah, 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 blah. Let's see, May 5th, Department of Workforce Services name, Assistant Deputy. So let's just basically back to the Department of Workforce Services. I just want to know how many people is unemployed in the state of Utah right now. And they're just basically making it so there's so much other stuff involved. 6 days ago, when and why Utah is ending the $300 a week COVID-19. We're not out of the pandemic. We're not. Post-pandemic is not happening. So anybody saying post-pandemic, like I say, Tucker Carlson, which I love the show, is not really actually accurate. That is a statement to increase the, I guess, profits of the profiteers. That's what that's about. They're using the public as a tool to increase their profits, to make the economy look like it's so grand and so great. And post-pandemic, and it's all over now. We're all better. Watch my last video marathon last night, and that'll give you a better idea of what's coming from India and what is loose in the country now and why the COVID numbers have gone up today. One big reason. There's also several other reasons, but I guess I'll get into that later in my newscast, guys. So my opinion on why the numbers went up today. So they're saying still March 2021, 2.9%. So employment thousands of jobs growth rate. I don't really care. It's okay. So we're just gonna get off this because this is a hole that you just can't really. You have to search for it, which would be why I'd have a support crew in the back getting this newscast ready, which I do not have. So just so you guys know, nobody has the time. Everybody's too busy. Hopefully in the future we can get this with our budget of 0 to become a budget of something so we can actually pay to do this. But at this time, we are basically like a zero profit news organization to give you a breakdown of local and federal and global, or local and national and global news. And with just basically nothing other than an S10 camera and a computer and me in my suit. So anyway, so let's looks like I'm on Fox breaking news. Let's go to KSL. I was on KSL, but I kicked myself off it by going to look at the jobless unemployment rate in Utah, which is a lot of people. So I guess I could have actually clicked on the governor kicking everybody off unemployment, federal unemployment. So yeah, let's do that. I thought it'd be a little bit easier. Apologize. Thanks for sticking with me. But it's not really working out. They're still saying 2.9%. Let's see how many people. It looks like the stimulus program currently benefits about 28,000 Utahns. So 28,000 Utahns were making over $300 a week. And a lot of those Utahns are going to go back to minimum or $10, $12 an hour, which are not really livable wages. So you got to imagine that bump of money into the economy, which will still have the economy being bumped by no rent or rent assistance or no evictions or, nothing, stuff like that. That's going to help too. And plus, just to give everybody an idea, to change the subject, there is millions of people coming across the southern border that are going to receive lots and lots and lots of money. Just tons of money thrown at them. Just $11,000 to settle an immigrant. And that per month is going to be just medical, dental, housing, food, schooling, just living money, just thrown at them, just all over the place. Just crazy amount of money becoming in. 175,000, 74,000 people a month comes through the southern border. The numbers are rising. Just a mass amount of people. We're going to replace the 9 million on unemployment pretty quickly. I think with the current state we were at over the past, 3 months, so you figure that's 175,000 people a week coming through. So you're looking at 175,000 times, 12 weeks. Yeah, roughly 12 weeks, and you're getting up there. Just saying, you're gonna have that 9 million people living off subsidies completely eliminated very quickly. By the end of the year, we'll have that at least. That's probably the numbers are way, way lower than what's being reported by Borders and Customs because they have their hands tied at this time. So we will have another population to receive the funding money to spread into the economy. The kleptocrats at the top won't lose anything. The economy will look like everything's great and booming. 400, 500,000 our houses will just be being built everywhere during a drought. And, the wages are going to go stagnant. Wages are just going to stay stagnant. You might get a couple bumps in the dollars, but basically they're charging more for the products you're producing. So it doesn't really matter. So the corporate gains go up. The, wages stay basically the same. Price of housing goes through the roof. They keep a 2% interest rate, still bumping up your price of housing, bumping up the money they're getting off the lumber and off everything else, the steel. And everybody's making money. Why this is all being fed through just different directions, including investments from the fiat cash that we passed out that was $19 trillion. Some places are saying $5 trillion. No, 19 trillion bucks was spent since the pandemic started. Now remember, the pandemic is not over. If you watch my last marathon, you'll understand that the India triple mutant variant does render the shot somewhat, the vaccine, we'll call it a vaccine, somewhat ineffective. And it's going to provide some protection, but not what everybody's thinking. This isn't going to be a free-for-all. And these variants or mutations or mutant viruses are more contagious. And just so you guys got that through, this is not over in any way, shape, or form. Besides, Fauci's in a ton of trouble. This has been pretty hilarious to watch Rand Paul tear into him because yeah, Fauci and whoever else was involved in that, they're kind of getting some good flack lately. They needed it finally. Looks like Liz Cheney's been kicked out by the Republican Party. I wonder why, Liz Cheney. You're a Republican, right? The majority of the Republicans don't want you there, and it doesn't matter how much you squawk it. Blah 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 blah. No, nobody cares. Yeah, you just kind of, you can get a good job with the Democrats because it's all a political game anyways. You're all part of a different culture. Those of us that actually work for a living and have to try to survive in this world of inflation and fake fiat currency, we don't really care what happens to you. Just go bye-bye. Just go bye-bye. Okay, 468 new COVID cases, 13 new deaths. The fake fiat currency federal unemployment benefits had just been cut through Utah. And just saying, 468 new cases. So we have three things happening there. A, we'll just say A. So A would be that we had some way or some time where there was a massive groups and gatherings that possibly caused the COVID cases to go up. And now it's hitting. B, the tests are actually working. Just saying, I think the tests are garbage. They're crap. They're just they say they're accurate, but we've been listening to this since the day this outbreak started. It's been nothing but lies and deception. Not to mention the fact that it's just never accurate. Take 2 tests sometimes to find it. And C, I would probably say that somebody's cooking the books because that money, all that money, you can't have that money flowing in out. We can't. Maybe they're telling the truth. Maybe they're finally saying, hey, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Apparently, I'm an actor. Everybody knows I'm an actor. I'm just a guy that tells you stuff on the TV, and you guys get to watch and say, hey, let's watch Western States Media and 45 News Utah and listen to him say some fake stuff just to keep us entertained, or possibilities or probabilities. Maybe they're actually telling the truth about how many people are being infected with COVID. You ever think about that? Well, I'm thinking about it right now because the shot is not going to be that effective. And remember, the shot is just to lessen the illness from the virus, but you're still going to catch a virus. You're still going to spread the virus with consequences that might not be very good. Panic drivers in southeast U.S. swarm pumps. Ignore the pleas to stop. How's the Green New Deal working out over there for you? Just remember all those people that want to eliminate fossil fuels and want to eliminate all cars and everything else, and pretty much feel that humanity should just die off so the planet can go back the way it was. How do you feel without being able to put gas in your car with the shortages? Does that make you feel good? But don't worry, those new Tesla cars, they catch fire, they burn for 4 hours. Their batteries do. You can't put them out. So that's going to be a lot of fun happening in the eastern U.S. as these electric cars go online. These 500,000 electric pumps that we don't even know where we're going to get the energy from come online. It's going to be loads of fun. Can't wait. So, eastern U.S., it was hacked by the dark web. Dark web people said, hey, give us money. The private corporation said, well, maybe we'll just give you money. Remember when Tom Cruise came out in Tropic Thunder and said, we don't negotiate with terrorists, It gets a standing ovation by the other people trying to laughing about that. They're making fun of the politicians that normally say we don't negotiate with terrorists. If they can hack the pipeline on the eastern coast, imagine what they could do to anything else. Can't say nothing about other things that happened in the past, but just imagine what they could actually hack if they can hack one of the largest pipelines in the eastern U.S. So if anybody thinks anything's safe, you're completely wrong. And if anybody doesn't think they negotiate with terrorists, the government, you're completely wrong. But that's okay, because before long, we'll all have wind and electric power, and we're just going to save the planet. Remember what happened last year with the massive droughts and all things that happened across the western U.S. with no rain? That was during nearly a complete shutdown where there was no fossil fuels really being burned compared to the past. You can see across Las Vegas skyline. You can be in L.A. and look right out to the ocean. The first time ever that anybody could ever remember. And for some reason, the climate just changed automatically. There was no rain. Just the rain stopped. We were already in a drought, but nothing like we saw last year. Believe me, in Utah, that didn't rain at all during this time of the shutdown. Just saying, there might be some environmental consequences to the addicted earth, to all the fluorocarbons, everything else we put up. Just saying. Something might be a rise there. There could be. We got scientists that don't check stuff out should be checking stuff out. Cold conviction, blah blah. Who cares? Israel steps up Gaza offensive. Okay, war is profitable. The COVID money has been spent. The robbing of the bank, the kleptocrats come in, took all the money, put it on all their stuff, their pet projects, made all their buddies rich, propped up a fake economy, fake global world with fiat currency that's backed by absolutely nothing, that spent the futures of our great-grandchildren. And we're happy because there's a war starting in Israel. But remember, war is hugely profitable to the Dick Cheneys of the world of the past. And what's happened in Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, and all over the Middle East, these wars have made trillions, $14 trillion in Middle Eastern wars. Why don't we go for another, right? Big money in Raytheon, big money contractors. And this could just get out of control, and then we'll see what happens. Magically happened right after all this started, right? Okay, well, I'm just saying, at least one injured. Southbound I-15 shut down after a car crash near Cedar City. Wow. Yeah, car crash involving a truck and passenger vehicle. U.S. Highway Patrol officials say. Utah Highway Patrol officials say. Yeah, so I don't know exactly where this was. It was southbound I-15, Cedar City, due to a crash. Looks like UDOT doesn't say anything about it having it up and running, so there was a crash. Looks like, I don't know if anybody died. I don't see anybody died on that, so we'll move back. Let's see. Heber City man could face additional sex abuse charges. Heber City man should be thrown in Guantanamo Bay, is what that should be. And waterboarded relentlessly. Salt Lake Canine officer faces new charges. Second biting incident. Okay, well, yeah, you're responsible for that. They should face charges for that. Dogs shouldn't bite people like the Rottweiler sitting on people's porches with a chain. It's about the size of what I'd put my Labrador Retriever on. It's probably not a good idea. That person should be liable. Yeah, bitings. Okay, I don't care about that. House sport, I don't care about that. CDC panel backs COVID-19 vaccine now cleared for adolescents. The India variant is attacking children. Don't know. There's a lot of stuff on the internet. You got to see something about magnets, where the shot was. Check it out for yourself. If you have the shot, put a magnet to it. Let's see if it sticks. It's a little thin one, and it doesn't stick to the other arm or anywhere else. Please do that for me. If anybody had the shot recently, get a magnet, put it to where his shot was. I seen it today on a video. I want to see if it's real. Send me the information through Messenger. Great. That'd be awesome if you would. Florida man who hit Utah group headed to Lake Powell head on, killed one, is charged. I bet the guy was drunk. Yep, no passing zone. Okay. Yeah, Florida man. I see Florida man on the I-15 all the time. They're usually crazy, insane drivers. Yeah. Yeah, I see crazy drivers everywhere. I don't care about Ellen. I don't care about that. Utah Made app connects outdoor enthusiasts through 30 different adventures. Stop connecting adventurers to Utah's backcountry, please. It's driving me crazy. Can't go anywhere. Well, I ain't hunting this year, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Man charged with murder claims he reacted to evil feelings. Okay, well, it's an evil world we live in now, so that wouldn't be anything of significance to me. Panic drivers in southwest U.S. or southeast U.S. Please stop. We went through that. These guys are idiots. GOP ousted. Yeah, Liz Cheney's gone. She's like, Trump could never get in office. I'll make it my sole opinion. Cheney, your dad, started wars in the Middle East over weapons of mass destruction and was involved clear back to the Iraq-Iran war that sent weapons in to kill millions of people. Nobody should care what Liz Cheney says. You know, your legacy is horrible. 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 Just saying. Lumber prices have quadrupled. Here's how it's hurting. That's an article right there. Raymond. Jeez, wonder why it's hurting. The entire housing market's why it's hurting, because it's a complete disaster. It's a debacle. It's a theft. It's a fakeness. It's a bubble beyond 2008. This is a bubble on steroids. It's everything bubble. Used cars are going through the roof. Nobody can afford used cars anymore. Can't find a used car. It's an everything bubble because the fiat money is everywhere. And all this fiat money made off of housing is a complete disgrace. You priced out a complete section, the majority of the working class of America, or Utah per se. You completely priced everybody out of the market. Now you get hit with a huge mortgage. They're not going to really be able to afford when this economic garbage lie collapses. But, you know, 1920s. Roaring 20s is here. Roaring 20s is great. It's happening. It's right here. Till the next wave of the COVID virus hits and the shots are, effective but not, and until the fiat currency comes crashing down, while our enemies are attacking us across the world, including China and Russia and everybody else that hates us, and they try to take down the monster called the U.S. while our southern border is wide open and we're just funneling in millions of people to change the vote and to dump money on to spur the economy. Your money dumped on them to house them, to fly them everywhere, to resettle them, and they get free college and everything else, plus medical when your teeth are falling out of your head. Like me. Can't afford dental. And medical is just taking $49 a week, and I can't really afford to pay the damn deductible. So it doesn't make a difference. Everybody's coming to the border, millions of people. It doesn't matter. There's millions of people everywhere, right? It does matter. It does matter. We're trying to get 9 million people back to work, to decent jobs that actually pay instead of $7 an hour, which is complete subsidized workers. Anybody under 12 is a subsidized worker. Anybody under 15, more than likely, is a subsidized worker by the taxpayer. It's not fair to the worker. It's not fair. And I understand small businesses have to do something like that sometimes to get people to work for them. But the problem is we have to have a living wage for Americans, or we're only going to subsidize these people. And it's no fault of their own. We'll get a better education. Well, who's going to do the rest of that stuff? We got a bunch of educated people, and then, we're a biologist with Division of Wildlife Resources, and this is how we're going to manage everything. Look what they did so far. 4,900 tags were cut. A lot of people got unsuccessful. And their unit by unit thing's a complete disaster, and they hand out depredation tags everywhere, and they're wiping out our elk populations, like Panguitch and Indian Peaks. Good luck. There's no elk left. There's no elk left. And a lot of families ain't going to be hunting this year because 4,900 people were cut. Tags were cut. They're cut. They can't even reach their objective of 400,000. Those are educated people. We don't need educated people everywhere. We need people that are skilled in labor. People are skilled in knowledge in other directions. Just because somebody's highly educated and we spend a huge bunch of money, we're going to pay off $10,000 of their student loan they owe, which is basically subsidized education. We need the average people, the dyed-in-the-wool knuckle draggers, and the people that hold the country together. So never attack people that are uneducated. Uneducated people have made this world go round. They should be paid to the point where they can't live unless they're subsidized. If you cannot continue to do this, the population. If it's a stepping stone job and you're 17, yes. If it's anybody over 18, no. We have to figure out a way to make that better, make the pay better. The prices are going up on everything, goods and services, unlivable. So anyway, I'd love to throw in my opinion constantly. Hope you guys enjoy 45 News Utah. I will be back a little later with some more stuff, trying to make this video fast. I'm only 15% on my camera, my phone right now. So thanks for watching, guys. I will check back with you a little bit later. Have a great night.